What's going on, everybody? It is your boy. Welcome into Fat Boy Fragrance Reviews, and of course, you know who I am. I am Mr. Fat Boy, and today we got us a double dip duo review on two blends. Can't wait to share it on y'all. I want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for showing the love. And if this is your first time checking out your boy, come on in, baby. Get you some popcorn, pull up a seat, and I hope you enjoy the show. And by the time I get through, or if you're already impressed, hit the like and subscribe. You know what to do. Hit the notifications because I put in work, video every day, content. Let's go. I'm really excited about these two blends. One of them, I was excited about both of them, but both of them live up to the hype. We'll find out after the break on this double dip duo review day. You know how we do it. No edits, no do-overs. All I need, baby, is one take. And I always get it right. Fat Boy Fragrance Review starts now. Alright, baby, we are back. Welcome. Let's go. But before we get started, don't forget you can sample most of the stuff I talk about over at fatboyfragrance.com. Fatboyfragrance.com, where the customer is always right, even when they're wrong, baby. Fatboyfragrance.com. Okay, so the fragrances we will be discussing today are two blends from Dua. We have in my pocket right here, we have Caribbean Herbs and Sea Salt. And we also have the much anticipated Plumlicious Casino Elixir. Alright, so Plumlicious Casino Elixir is their version of a hybrid of their two versions of Tom Ford's Plum Japonais, and Casino Elixir is like they're kind of like a mix of Baccarat Roots 540 and a Venice with some other stuff in there. So it's kind of Venice, you know, Creed's of Venice, Baccarat Roots 540, and Tom Ford's Plumlicious all mixed together. And then Caribbean Herbs and Sea Salt is basically Virgin Island Water from Creed, and Herbs and Sea Salt, which is from Joe Malone. Two really nice summer niche fragrances that I really like. Together, it should be a hit. So let's go and start off with the one I was most excited about, and that's Plumlicious Casino Elixir. There's a good look at the bottle. Alright, we'll take the cap off. There we go. And let's go ahead and spray this one in the air and put it on the skin, baby. I've worn these, I got my full feelings on it. Now, I will say this about this fragrance. When I first sprayed it, I was not impressed. It was barely in the hump pile, out of the hump pile. It was YHEA, but it was barely. Now, when I wore it, and the next day when I sprayed it and I wore it around the house, I still was not impressed. But now, after a couple weeks of it sitting, I could finally really pick up the macerations, kind of kicked in. If you don't know what maceration is, it's almost like an aging of a fragrance. The Dua fragrances tend to get better with a little bit of time of sitting around. I'm not sure about people putting them in the refrigerator and all this kind of weird stuff people do with their Dua fragrances. I don't recommend any of that. I just recommend keep them in a cool, low sunlight place. You don't want them to get too hot. You don't want to leave them in your car, stuff like that. But nothing fancy. Just let them sit a little bit and the Dua will get better, no doubt. Sometimes they're ready right out of the bottle, sometimes they're not. This one definitely benefited from maceration. What I pick up on this one, and I always like to discuss this when I talk about my blends. My blends are like this. I grade them on this kind of scale. First of all, I say, is it a blend of two fragrances or three, whatever how many it is? Is it a new fragrance it creates? Second thing, is it dominated by one fragrance or the other that can tend to hurt the score on the way and how I like a fragrance? And third, does it just work? Does it smell good? Is it a good combination? All right. Tom Ford's Plum Japonais is absolute top 5, top 10 for me. Hands down, best fragrances ever I've smelled. Of course, Casino Elixir, I love their interpretation of Baccarat Roots 540 with that blend, the way they blend that one. It's beautifully done. This one falls in the point where I think what we've done here, we've kind of created a new fragrance. And most of the time, that's a great thing. This one, in the air, I get a little bit more Plumlicious. A little bit more Casino Elixir, but on the skin, I get more Plumlicious, almost to the point where I don't get a good sense of Plumlicious. What I'm picking up on is a tobacco kind of cigarette smell. That's not the pleasant one. It's a cheaper tobacco. You know, it's maybe some cheap pipe tobacco. That's from kind of the vibe I'm getting from this. I'm not picking up any kind of sweetness to it. I'm not picking up any of the plum here either. It's kind of this from it. Is it a terrible fragrance? No. I think somebody who's going to say this would like this fragrance, because don't think you're going to get a blend of both of them perfectly where you're going to experience both fragrances. No, this is a brand new fragrance when you combine these two. It's not a home run. It's not terrible. It's all right. So I've worn it. Here's my final grade on it. Performance, it's okay. I was expecting better. 4 hours maybe, 3 tops. Then it's a skin scent, and it's already starting to dissipate now. I would recommend spraying a good bit of this if you're gonna wear it, because it's gonna take a lot to keep this one going. First impressions in the air when I first spray it. It's the second box. It's okay. It's not great. I'm gonna half check that one. I'm gonna half check the box. So basically half check so far. It's not a good start for this fragrance. Thirdly, does the wifey like it? Is it a compliment getter? I don't think this one is a compliment getter. My wife didn't hate it because she could smell the Baccarat Rouge, and that's probably what saved it. But overall, it's not. I had so much more high hopes for this one. Super high hopes, where I bought 2 of these. Okay, and finally, what is my final verdict on it? Because I don't think it's a compliment getter, so I'm not even going to check that box. Even though the wife said she kind of liked it, she didn't love it. She didn't really like it. She liked it for some components. So, I'm not going to check that box at all. Finally, how much do I recommend this? I'm going to give this about a 35 to 40% recommendation. This means definitely sample it first. Or definitely, get your hands on a sample. Do not blind buy this. This is not, there went the cap. It's alright. Do not blind buy this one. It is not a blind buy worthy fragrance. Avoid that completely, okay? There's plenty of choices you can choose. If you want to kind of get this vibe, try Dolce Casino. Much better. I think you'll appreciate that more. Plus, maybe it needs to macerate some more. I'll revisit it. But overall, it's not even 50%. So around 40% approval from me. Not really that good. One of the lower ones that I've given a duo that I've actually reviewed. Okay, so moving on to this one now. This is Caribbean Herbs and Sea Salt. This is Virgin on Water and Herbs and Sea Salt from Joe Malone. 2 fragrances that have decent performance, not great, but they're okay, but they absolutely smell like stunning fragrances. Let's see if this one is a brand new fragrance, a perfect blend of the 2, or is one dominating the other. Here we go. In the air and on the skin, because you know me, I put my skin on the line for y'all every time. In the air, you're getting a lot of Baccarat, a lot of Virgin on Water, no doubt. Is that a bad thing? Absolutely not. But as it dissipates, you do pick up on the Herbs and Sea Salt to the point, I would say, in the air when you first spray it, you're going to feel like you're getting both evenly. I feel like you're going to be wrapped in a beautiful scent bubble of Virgin on Water and Herbs and Sea Salt blended perfectly together. Where the first little start will be all Virgin on Water, and then here comes Herbs and Sea Salt. You'll pick up on it pretty fast. On the skin, you do get a perfect blend of both of them. I think this one is actually a perfect blend of both. When I go in to smell it, I smell both. Well, as I wore this one during the day when I wore it, I smelled both evenly. It was a perfect 50-50 all the way throughout this fragrance journey I had with this one. As simple as I can say, guys. This one right here, if you like Baccarat Rouge if you like Virgin on Water, I keep saying Baccarat Rouge, and you like Herbs and Sea Salt, these 2 together do work. Probably to the point where it's not getting enough pub and love, because I think people just expect this one to be good. But this one could have been messed up. It actually worked. It's a phenomenal fragrance. It's not a whole new fragrance. It's not too much of the other. It's a perfect blend of both, and you get to enjoy both fragrances equally together. Now, what somebody's going to say to me, why should I do that? I can just, if I already have 2 of them, why can't I just spray them there? Yes, you can. But I will say, as this one dries down, it does tend to lean more into Virgin on Water, but with a fruitier Virgin on Water, which I kind of like. Overall, the performance on this fragrance is solid. I'll get into that in a second, and I'll share it with you. So, let's find out if this one gets my full seal approval, and we'll get out here and just double dip, do a review today. Performance, solid. 6 hours easy for a freshy fragrance. I'll take that all day. Spray as much as you want with this one. Bam, 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 bam. Go everywhere. Go down here, up here, around here. Spray it 30 times, you'll be okay. And then you keep on spraying as you're walking by people. You're not going to offend anybody with this fragrance. People are going to love the way you smell. It's a hit. First impressions in the air, that box, check that box too. Check performance box, check the first impression box. It is a stunning fragrance when you first smell it. Third box, does the wifey like it? Absolutely. Double check that one. She loves this. Virgin Olive Oil is one of her favorites of all time. It's a definite compliment getter. I didn't get one, but I'm pretty sure you're going to get a compliment wearing this if you really, really tried. And thirdly, how much I recommend it? 100% full recommendation. 100% safe to blind buy. Take it from the biggest and baddest and best looking duo expert out there. And I'm making that claim now. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I am the Duo King. I review more duos. I buy more duos than most reviewers. I don't take stuff for free. And I also have one of the largest sampling websites on duos around. So, Duo. Nothing wrong with it. Show the love. And I appreciate Duo. So this is 100% approval from the Duo expert. You can count me as Duo expert pretty much. I'm pretty much an expert. Alright. That's all the time I got. So we had one that was a major failure at 40% approval. Plumlicious Casino Elixir. Very disappointed. And one that exceeded expectations and was amazing. And that is Caribbean Herbs and Sea Salt. This is your best of the two. This one needs work. I don't know what's up with it. Might get better, it might not. I'll revisit it come winter time. Alright, y'all stay safe. Y'all stay well. Remember, if you want to sample these, go over to fatboyfragrance.com. And make sure to hit the like and subscribe button or like button. Share it with your friends if you enjoyed the content. If you smell good, baby, you're going to feel good. And it's going to be all good. Fatboy Fragrance Reviews is out.